Detailed and in-depth Python programming training. My name is Ahmed Ebra and I'll be the instructor for this course. And if you have any questions during this course, I'll always help you to get the most of this training. In this very first lesson, we will do several important things. First, we will talk about what the Python language is and what it is used for. Second, we will address the tools that we will need to write the Python code correctly, easily, and simply without complicating it. Third, we will download the Python programming language to our computer. Now, let's start together this wonderful journey to master the Python programming language. Python is one of the coolest and best programming languages in terms of ease and features. It is very easy for you to read the Python code as if you were reading a regular English sentence. Python is a programming language that lets you work quickly and integrate systems more efficiently. With Python programming language, it is possible to do everything you imagine in the world of software engineering and development. To start programming with Python programming language, we need some basic tools. We'll need to install the Python programming language on our device correctly first. We'll also need an IDE or text editor, whether it is on our device or online, to facilitate the process of writing, editing, and running the codes that we will write. In this course, we will use an easy, simple, and free text editor that you can use without complication. This text editor is the Visual Studio Code Editor. To download and install the latest version of the Python programming language on our device, go to the Downloads page on the official website of this language, as you can see, which is through this URL. Through this official website, you can download any version of Python programming language, and also it can be downloaded for any operating system you use. Python is a cross-platform language. A Python program written on a Macintosh computer will run on a Linux system and vice versa. Also, Python programs can run on a Windows computer as long as the Windows machine has the Python interpreter installed. Now let's download and install Python on our device. Always try to download the latest version of Python to get the new features. In this training, we will use version 3.8.1. Just click on this yellow button from here and Python will be downloaded to your device. Then wait for the download process to finish. And then we'll install the language by double clicking on the download file from here, and the installation screen will appear for us to complete this process, which is very simple and easy. Here you can see the pop-up window to install Python. First of all, you should check Add Python to the path, because this makes Python available and you can access it anywhere in your local device. Then hit Install Now to complete the installation process and wait for the process to complete successfully. Now, as you can see, the process ended successfully and the Python programming language was installed on our local device. Just press the Close button. The second thing that we will need to complete this course is the text editor, which is Visual Studio Code Editor. You can download and install it from this official website simply. Try to download and install it, then complete this training that will prepare you in order to become a professional Python developer efficiently and in a short period of time. That's all for this lesson. I hope this lesson and understood it very well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me and I'll also answer you as soon as possible. I am here to help you all the time. Thanks a lot for watching. See you at next lesson. It's a new lesson. In this lesson, we'll discuss the difference between scripting and programming language in detail. This is one of the most important topics that you should learn, which is the difference between scripting languages such as Python, for example, or JavaScript, and other compiled languages such as C++. To understand the difference between a scripting language and a programming language, one has to understand why scripting languages were born. Initially, there were programming languages that was written to build programs like Excel, Word, browsers, games, and many more. Simply, these programs were built with languages like C and Java. Over time, these programs needed a way for users to create new functionality. So they had to provide an interface to their bytecode, and hence scripting languages were born. You should know that all scripting languages are programming languages. The theoretical difference between the two is that scripting languages don't require the compilation step and are rather interpreted. And a simple example for that, normally a C program needs to be compiled before running, whereas normally a scripting language like Python or JavaScript or PHP needn't be compiled. Okay. Generally, compiled programs run faster than interpreted programs because they are first converted native machine code. Also, compilers read and analyze the code only once and report the errors collectively that the code might have, but the interpreter will read and analyze the code statements each time it meets them and halts at that very instance if there is some error. And in practice, the distinction between the two is getting blurred owing to improved computation capabilities of the modern hardware and advanced coding practices. Another point to be noted is that while classifying a language as a scripting language or a programming language, the environment on which it would execute must be taken into consideration. The reason why this is important is that we can design an interpreter for C language and use it as a scripting language, and at the same time we can design a compiler, for example for JavaScript language, and use it as a compiled language. Awesome! Some scripting languages traditionally used without an explicit compilation step are Python, JavaScript, PHP, and many more. Also, some programming languages traditionally used with an explicit compilation step are C, C++, and many more. Let's talk about some applications of scripting languages. You can use the scripting language to automate certain tasks in a program, extracting information from a dataset, and less code intensive as compared to traditional programming languages. Also, let's talk about some applications of programming languages. They typically run inside a parent program like scripts, also more compatible while integrating code with mathematical models. And languages like Java, for example, can be compiled and then used on any platform. Finally, and in a nutshell, languages used for traditional programming are compiled, while languages used for scripting are interpreted rather than compiled. An interpreted language facilitates the implementation phase and allows quickly prototyping new functions. Compiled languages, on the other hand, are able to provide faster applications than interpreted language. Traditional programming is based on low-level language, while scripting prefers high-level language. And regular programming generally leads to closed software applications, while scripting promotes open projects. However, basically all scripting languages are programming languages. That's all for this simple lesson. And if you ask me and I'll answer you as soon as possible. I am here to help you all the time. Thanks a lot for watching. See you again.